White folks, you got to change, because within 30 years, you will be a numerical minority in the United States of America. And you had better pray to whoever you pray to or for, that people of color are not going to get even with us and treat us the way we have treated them. If you can't think of any other reason for treating people like equal human beings, think of that one. Because what you do today is creating the future. I don't think you want the kind of future that you have provided for people in the present. I may be mistaken. You may not know what's going on. You know what's going on. And if I asked you, if every white person in this room who wants to be treated the way we have treated people of color in this country, if you'd like to be treated that way, all you white folks, if you want that for the rest of your life, please stand. Did you understand the directions? If you're white and you think blacks have got it so good in this country and you want to be treated the way they have been for the rest of your life, just stand up. You know why you aren't standing. You know it's ugly, and you know it's happening, and you know you don't want it to happen to you. So I want to know why you're so willing to allow it for others in this post-racial society.
Slavery in the Old Testament, in the Bible especially, you guys seem to make it out as a much worse concept than it actually is.
Does the Bible allow you to own another person as property to be passed on to your children? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Okay. I've said that, and that's bad. Does the Bible allow you to beat your slaves as long as they don't die within a couple days?
Yes.
Does the Bible tell you when you must let your Jewish slaves go free, and that this does not necessarily apply to your non-Jewish slaves?
Yes.
Does the Bible tell you how to trick your Jewish slaves into being your slave forever?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, it's at the beginning of Exodus 21. And it says, if you buy a Hebrew servant, then they'll serve for 6 years, but must be let go. And if he came in without a wife and kids, then he leaves without a wife and kids. But if he gets married while he's your slave, if you've given him a wife and they've born kids, the wife and kids remain with the slave owner, and the slave can exit and leave free.
Well,
but if he doesn't want to,
slave's choice.
Yes, that's the slave. Yes. Oh, this is going to go really fucking well. The slave can leave, or he can say, you know what? I don't want to leave my wife and kids. I'm willing to stay with my master. And then he becomes a slave for how long?
I believe it's 6 years or something. Or
forever.
Forever. That one's
forever.
Yeah.
It's 6 years and then forever. So this is what I've done. I've done a full 30-minute video going through everything the Bible says about slavery. We've talked about it on the show over all the time. That's all I've said about slavery in the Bible. How is it that you can call in and say, I'm making it sound worse than it is, when the Bible advocates owning people as property, passing them on as inheritance, beating them as long as they don't die quickly, and tricking them into being your slaves forever, has a different set of rules for Hebrew slaves than it does for Gentile slaves, and has a different set of rules for women and children who are slaves than for slaves. How exactly is your version of the Bible's slavery better than what I described?
Well, the first thing, can I go into the thing about marriage? The slave chooses to go back to being a slave. He could just leave his kids and have a normal life, and that's fine. That's up to him. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Good job, Jimmy. I hope you never become a parent. Keep going.
Well, modern day, it wouldn't be good. You got to think about it from an old perspective.
I want to let you keep going, Jimmy. I want to let you keep going, because this is fun. But right now, I've been shielding you a little bit by trying to give you outs. And now you basically just said, hey, it's up to the slave. The slave can voluntarily stay a slave, and but he could leave his family and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'd like for you to keep going and explaining to my co-host how slavery in the Bible is not that bad.
White people have never been muscular, and history proves it. For all the myths about white power, dominance, and superior genetics, the historical and biological record shows something very different. White people have never been muscular. From their soft-bodied medieval ancestors to modern gym bros chasing aesthetics over function, white societies have always lacked real muscular development, both in practice and physiology. While other civilizations built strength through labor, sport, combat, and survival, white people either avoided physical work, engineered machines to do it for them, or exploited the bodies of others. Their relationship to muscle has always been one of distance, envy, and artificial compensation. Medieval and early modern white bodies were not muscular. Peasant bodies were malnourished, stunted, and thin, not strong. Centuries of poor diet, overwork, and disease left the white lower class physically depleted. The elite classes who could afford food didn't use their bodies at all. They were known for their softness, roundness, and pale, unworked physiques. Unlike African societies where strength was visibly present among workers, warriors, and farmers, Europeans had no widespread muscular tradition. White people's diets never supported muscle growth. Traditional European diets were bread-heavy, low-protein, and free of micronutrients needed for muscle development. Compare this to African diets rich in legumes, lean meats, tubers, and fermented foods, or Asian diets with balanced protein and nutrient-dense vegetables. White diets were structurally anti-muscle. Even among soldiers and knights, there was more fat storage than muscle fiber. Armor replaced conditioning. White muscle didn't exist because white societies weren't feeding or building it. The muscle was always outsourced. Slavery, colonization, and exploitation were not just about wealth. They were about outsourcing physical strength to others. White societies used African labor to build their economies, indigenous porters to carry their supplies, and Asian labor to build their railroads, because white bodies weren't built for it. This reliance wasn't strategic, it was necessary, because white people couldn't physically do what others could. Colonial records are filled with obsession over the muscularity of black and indigenous men, often contrasted with the flabbiness and frailty of white settlers. Even white art and science began measuring ideal bodies based on non-white physiques, despite denying them humanity. White strength was never real. It was extracted from bodies they couldn't match. Modern white muscle is cosmetic, not functional. The bodybuilder aesthetic is all show, no go. Modern white fitness culture is obsessed with hyper-visual muscle, abs, biceps, and symmetry, not real-world strength, endurance, or durability. White gym routines prioritize mirror muscles, isolated workouts, and steroid aesthetics, rather than natural, functional strength. Compare this to indigenous warrior training, African wrestling traditions, or Asian martial arts, rooted in survival, not vanity. White muscle culture still depends on help. The modern white fitness industry is fueled by protein powders, supplements, PEDs, and gym tech, not raw earned strength. Even at the professional level, white athletes rely on scientific regimens and drug protocols, while many non-white athletes maintain strength through discipline, tradition, and raw talent. Despite this, non-white athletes continue to dominate strength-based sports, from sprinting to MMA to Olympic weightlifting and calisthenics. White muscle is engineered and fragile, more about image than capability. If white people were always so strong, why have they spent their entire history trying to avoid muscle work and paying other people for theirs? Cope.
If you're confused about what's going on with Trump's executive order on segregation, let me explain. Although Trump did sign an executive order to remove a prior ban on segregation, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 is still in place, which means it is still illegal to segregate a protected class. However, the reason this is such a huge deal is because the federal government is in charge of enforcing the Civil Rights Act and investigating civil rights violations. By Trump signing this executive order, he is making it loud and clear that the federal government does not intend to do their part in enforcement or investigation. Effectively, what he's done is made it known to businesses that they don't need to abide by the Civil Rights Act because the government won't enforce it. Several federal agencies, like the Department of Homeland Security and the National Institute of Health, have already begun issuing notices to employees advising them not to consider the prior ban on segregation going forward. While this is only one of the countless attacks on DEI that Trump has made, the potential impacts of this order are vast and frightening, especially considering the history our country has with segregation.
White people have never been muscular, and history proves it. For all the myths about white power, dominance, and superior genetics, the historical and biological record shows something very different. White people have never been muscular. From their soft-bodied medieval ancestors to modern gym bros chasing aesthetics over function, white societies have always lacked real muscular development, both in practice and physiology. While other civilizations built strength through labor, sport, combat, and survival, white people either avoided physical work, engineered machines to do it for them, or exploited the bodies of others. Their relationship to muscle has always been one of distance, envy, and artificial compensation. Medieval and early modern white bodies were not muscular. Peasant bodies were malnourished, stunted, and thin, not strong. Centuries of poor diet, overwork, and disease left the white lower class physically depleted. The elite classes who could afford food didn't use their bodies at all. They were known for their softness, roundness, and pale, unworked physiques. Unlike African societies where strength was visibly present among workers, warriors, and farmers, Europeans had no widespread muscular tradition. White people's diets never supported muscle growth. Traditional European diets were bread-heavy, low-protein, and free of micronutrients needed for muscle development. Compare this to African diets rich in legumes, lean meats, tubers, and fermented foods, or Asian diets with balanced protein and nutrient-dense vegetables. White diets were structurally anti-muscle. Even among soldiers and knights, there was more fat storage than muscle fiber. Armor replaced conditioning. White muscle didn't exist because white societies weren't feeding or building it. The muscle was always outsourced. Slavery, colonization, and exploitation were not just about wealth. They were about outsourcing physical strength to others. White societies used African labor to build their economies, indigenous porters to carry their supplies, and Asian labor to build their railroads, because white bodies weren't built for it. This reliance wasn't strategic, it was necessary, because white people couldn't physically do what others could. Colonial records are filled with obsession over the muscularity of black and indigenous men, often contrasted with the flabbiness and frailty of white settlers. Even white art and science began measuring ideal bodies based on non-white physiques, despite denying them humanity. White strength was never real. It was extracted from bodies they couldn't match. Modern white muscle is cosmetic, not functional. The bodybuilder aesthetic is all show, no go. Modern white fitness culture is obsessed with hyper-visual muscle, abs, biceps, and symmetry, not real-world strength, endurance, or durability. White gym routines prioritize mirror muscles, isolated workouts, and steroid aesthetics, rather than natural, functional strength. Compare this to indigenous warrior training, African wrestling traditions, or Asian martial arts, rooted in survival, not vanity. White muscle culture still depends on help. The modern white fitness industry is fueled by protein powders, supplements, PEDs, and gym tech, not raw, earned strength. Even at the professional level, white athletes rely on scientific regimens and drug protocols, while many non-white athletes maintain strength through discipline, tradition, and raw talent. Despite this, non-white athletes continue to dominate strength-based sports, from sprinting to MMA to Olympic weightlifting and calisthenics. White muscle is engineered and fragile, more about image than capability. If white people were always so strong, why have they spent their entire history trying to avoid muscle work and paying other people for theirs?
My name's Kylie, and I'm obviously white. I grew up in a conservative white family, and I know there's been a lot of discourse about whether white people should talk about racism, and here's my argument for why I think that not only should we, but we have to. A lot of racism in white families occurs behind closed doors. I've been over at friends' parents' places and heard them say some pretty obscene things about people of color, assuming that I am on their side simply because I am white. Obviously, this makes for some awkward conversations when I do call them out, but point being, the depths of the racism and the darkness that seeps in deeply into these families can only, in my opinion, truly be exposed by other white people, because they will never be their full racist selves around anyone who is not white. They like to save face publicly and say that they're not racist, but then again, if you go into their homes and you hear the things they say, that would suggest otherwise. I just encourage you, if you're a white person and you know people like this, please say something. Don't just ignore it for fear of conflict.
I am, guys, for the first 35 years of my life or so, I was incredibly prejudiced towards a lot of people. I did not have empathy for other human beings that were not just like me. It was taught to me. I was brought up around it. I feel terrible about it, and I've been doing everything I can since I really, truly became aware of how awful I was to turn it around and be a better human being. So I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys understanding.
This is a message for poor and middle-class white people. Your life doesn't suck because of trans people. Your life doesn't suck because of immigrants. Your life doesn't suck because of black people. Your life doesn't suck because of any of the minority groups that you've been trained to hate. Your life sucks because the billionaire class has stolen $50 trillion from the working class in the last 40 years. $50 trillion in productivity that should have gone to your labor and wages has gone to the 0.1%. Not even the 1%. The 0.1%. There's 800 and something people in this country who are billionaires. 800 and something out of 330 million people. And those 800 and something people have set up a system to where you and all the working class have to pay all of the taxes and do all of the work while they take all of the money and keep going to the bank. Your life sucks because of the billionaire class, not because of minorities.
If you're a white person, we need to start getting even louder on behalf of our friends and family who are minorities. Our government has antagonized them to no end. They're ripping up the street that proclaimed Black Lives Matter. They're removing accomplishments from our minority service members off of the Pentagon website. And now our federal government erased a ban on contractors who run segregated facilities. They are trying so hard to enrage our brothers and sisters of color. They want them angry and they want them out in the streets. It is so clear. I'm so proud of them for not taking the bait. I'm so proud of them for staying home and resting. But as they do, we have to fight on their behalf. The Civil Rights Act was only passed in 1964. I'm in my early 40s, but my parents grew up with segregation in their schools. And there's no way in hell, all these years later, we're going to go backwards to anything even remotely resembling that. If places are segregated and say whites only, that's not a place I will ever be. And any line of thinking that keeps us separate from one another is a thinking that we need to reject loudly and wholeheartedly. Nobody is better than anybody else in this country because of the color of their skin. We are not, in 2025, going to sit around and watch as a bunch of people make laws trying to make us go backwards. We have to be the loudest ones. We have to be the protectors. We have to be the allies. We have to be the advocates. We have to be the ones whose voices are the loudest in saying, we will not go backwards, and you will not oppress the minority community. Not on our watch. Not now, and not ever.
I gotta get something off my chest that's really been irritating me. I am so fucking tired of MAGA people constantly deflecting with, what about Obama? What about Biden? Who gives a fuck about them in this conversation? You guys literally worship an orange spray tan demigod who has the emotional intelligence of a second grader. A man who speaks like a cartoon villain with lines like, we're always doing the best things and I know more about everything more than anyone else, while showing he doesn't know shit about anything. This guy constantly belittles anyone who doesn't agree with him, talks down to his own supporters, and demonizes immigrants and foreigners like some kind of 1940s propaganda reel. And don't even get me fucking started on this whole, I can stop the Ukraine-Russia war in 24 hours bullshit. He made it sound like a cakewalk, and then the second he gets some fake-ass ceasefire deal from Putin, boom! An hour later, Russia attacks again. Legendary negotiator, my ass. He's a fraud, and anyone with a working brain cell can see it. And yet, despite all of this, you people are still blindly cheering as he prepares to fuck over the middle class yet again. This isn't speculation. There are literal tax analysis that confirm he's going to raise taxes on regular people while slashing them for the wealthy. But nah, you guys believe the fairy tale where he's gonna give you tax-free tips, tax-free overtime, and a $5,000 stimulus check paid by fucking Doge. And let's get one thing straight. We were never out here buying Obama or Biden merch like you lunatics do for Trump, because we don't worship politicians like they're gods. They're fucking leaders, not cult figures. It's pathetic, and honestly, you should be ashamed of yourselves. And while we're on the topic of things that piss me off, I'm so fucking tired of you people screaming about trans people, coming after kids and indoctrinating them, when it's your literal own fucking party that's full of them. Pastors and priests getting caught for sexual assault, grooming, and sleeping with minors every other fucking week. You people are obsessed with protecting children from drag queens, reading books, but turn a blind eye to Republican lawmakers and godly priests actually molesting kids. And just because I support trans people doesn't mean I want every kid in the world to go through gender-affirming surgery. But you fucking morons think that that's what it means, because you can't think past the surface. All of you are surface level thinkers, and it's fucking irritating. You hear one buzzword from Fox News and suddenly you're an expert on child development, despite the fact that science, medical professionals, and reality prove you completely wrong time after time. You guys don't think, you regurgitate, and it's fucking exhausting.
It's time to speak up. They're rolling back segregation. They are rolling back segregation. It is now no longer illegal to require separate facilities for people of different races. It is no longer illegal to say, here's the white water fountain and here's the colored water fountain. To be clear, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 is still in place and has not been disbanded. But we know what their goal is. There is always step one in a process, and we absolutely know what their goal is. They are rolling back segregation. What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Because this time, white people, we are the ones that are going to be on the front crossing that bridge. Do you hear me? We are the ones that are going to stand in the streets. Our black countrymen have done their time at the front of the lines, and it is our turn. It is our turn to face the water hoses and to face the dogs and to face the tear gas, because we have let this happen. Not on my watch. Not while there is breath in me will we go back. Is anybody out there with me? Go love your neighbor.
A 17-year-old boy admitted to breaking into a home, beating and raping a 98-year-old woman while leaving his DNA inside her body. Gavin Ramsey, the teenage perpetrator, invaded 98-year-old Margaret Douglas's residence in Wadsworth under cover of darkness last April. He used his phone to record her sleeping, then murdered her and desecrated her corpse while leaving biological evidence at the scene. During court proceedings, Ramsey's family revealed he had endured childhood abuse and been prescribed the antidepressant Zoloft during adolescence, factors they claimed contributed to the horrific crimes. Margaret Douglas's loved ones tearfully described her vivacious personality and passion for life, emphasizing how Ramsey destroyed her dream of reaching 100 years old. The presiding judge sentenced Ramsey to life imprisonment without parole. His mother accepted partial responsibility in court, admitting she authorized his Zoloft prescription and alleging the medication altered his behavior. Is a life sentence too severe for a 17-year-old? Share your perspective on this punishment in the comments.
Is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding. Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one.
How have we all missed this? They've blown all the whistles, but in the chaos, we've forgotten there's a name for what they're trying to do. When Trump says immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country, when Vance complains that our low birth rate is going to hurt us, while at the same time trying to shut down immigration, which is our primary source of population growth, while mourning childless women and telling families to have as many domestic children as possible, when Elon Musk tells young German nationalists not to lose their culture to some sort of multiculturalism that dilutes everything, after telling Italians, who you may remember also played the game of Yahtzee, that migration is not a substitution for population growth, and without an increase of the birth rate, people will disappear. Poisoned blood, diluted culture, fear that your people will disappear? We've seen their favorite kinds of people, we've seen their salutes, and now we hear their shared language. With these three men working together, it's pretty clear that a new game of Yahtzee has begun, and they're playing with the original rule book. But we missed one key rule. In fact, it's not even a rule, it's how you win the game of Yahtzee. It's the entire reason the game was created in the first place. They just never got to that point because we cut the game short. They don't win Yahtzee by getting rid of the people they don't like. They win Yahtzee by replacing them with people they do like. And there's a name for this process. It's eugenics. Eugenics is by definition the study of how to arrange reproduction within a human population to increase the occurrence of desirable characteristics. This is clearly their ultimate goal, and if we are going to shut it down, that begins with calling it what it is and calling out why eugenics is an abhorrent disaster for the human race.
King of what? What is Trump king of? Because it's not the United States. We don't have a king. We're not a dictatorship.
I'm saying stay off the front lines. I'm saying stay out of the streets. I'm saying don't put yourself out there to be victimized because you know exactly who them police and riot police are going to target when we're out there. Like I said in the previous episode, have y'all noticed they've been protesting across the country? Look up the 5051 protests that have been happening all over this country. Look them up. No black people out there. And guess what? They've miraculously been violent, barely any, no violence. Okay. Very few people being arrested. Where are the rubber bullets at? Where's the tear gas? Where's the militarized tanks in the street? Nowhere. Where are the random quote random bricks that happen to just be out there that people use to bust up them windows? Where are they? Nowhere. You know why? Because our Negro asses are not out there. And as I said earlier in the episode, you know, white people can treat other white people right. They're not going to treat us right.
What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rant, no hate. But you guys see the truth. See, and this is just a little bit of it. This isn't the full scope. And what people fail to realize, see, I know who I am. And none of you racist pieces of shit are going to, get in my head. You can't. See, I know what races are. Just like your racist bitch-made motherfucking Ryan Garcia. You're a racist? You're a racist? You're a racist? You're right? He kept throwing that shit at that boxer, calling him a racist, right? And what did he do? He goes and make a video talking about how he want to dig up George Floyd so he could kill that nigga again. He's KKK. He's anti-black. Remember that, right? And you pussy-made motherfuckers still support him. It goes to show you what you are. I don't give a fuck if you Sean Porter. I don't give a fuck if you Mike Tyson. I don't give a fuck. Fuck all of you motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you support a fucking racist, you're a racist. When you speak against racism, when you stand up to white supremacy or anything else, oh, you're the racist one. You're right. I'm racist against racists. I hate you motherfuckers. How about that? That's the only time that you can hear me say, I hate you motherfuckers. How about that? The same way you hate us, I hate you. Do something about it. All you motherfuckers sit here and talk and say shit. Now you got white people, you got Latino people, you got other people that are finally waking up to understand what the truth is, what's really going on. Now I can say the same thing these white folks are saying. Idiots won't get it. Even some coon-ass black motherfuckers won't get it. See, if I'm speaking saying Deontay Wilder had no proof, he was lying the whole time about Tyson Fury in that situation. Not at all saying Tyson Fury is above doing that shit. I don't know that motherfucker personally. But I'm saying, looking at the situation and the information in front of us, if he had it, he would have presented it. So black people think I'm selling out to this white bald-headed motherfucker. No, fuck Fury, and fuck you for thinking that. But then, when I speak against something Fury does, oh, I'm being racist. Fuck you, and fuck Fury. Simple. I'm not here to appease you motherfuckers. I've been throwing these since I've been a little kid. I've been throwing these bows and these knees and these feet. All right? And this here is strong as fuck. I don't back down for no fucking body. So all this shit that you motherfuckers be talking is because you simply are racist. You simply are a bunch of coons and you don't even know where the fuck you stand. And that's why when people drop the truth, it's hate, it's hate, it's hate. Oh, why y'all hating? Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I hate racist. You understand what I'm saying? You have these racist motherfuckers that be saying shit like, black people had slaves too. Ain't no black people benefiting from no fucking slavery, and there's no form of slavery that was good. No form of slavery, but you the same motherfuckers who crack open that Bible and say slavery was okay in the Bible. It was different. Because, yeah, fuck you, fuck your Bible, and fuck that, all that bullshit that you talking about. You see what all these white people just said? You see the video? Because I got a whole lot more. Yeah. See, they say the same shit I say. I physically meet up and talk to people that have it in here and understand what's happening. You got to be a complete asshole to not see what's happening. No, it's not that you don't see it, you don't care. Even if you did see, you don't give a fuck. And we don't give a fuck about you. See, here's the fucked up thing about it. And this is what white people got to understand. What they do, the ones that understand this know. See, when we march and protest, the cops be out there with riot gear. They got the dogs and everything. White people protest. Oh, they're just peaceful protesters. I've seen white people protest with guns. And it was like, if the cops try to come and move us, we will react with force. They were called peaceful protesters. See, we come out there and march with you. Like, for example, where was all the white people at the Million Man March? Where was all the Latinos, the Asians? Where was everybody then? Right? We go and march with you guys. Oh, the cops will target us. Put all types of lies and shit on the news about black people was doing this and that and this and causing shit between. Because let's be real. You have racist ass people that feel betrayed by Trump. It doesn't mean they look at us any different. We ain't did shit to these racist motherfuckers. They just like, we wanted you, Trump. We the same. How could you do this to us? So there will be some bad blood out there. Oh, by far. And we know who they coming to target. First fucking day on the job, what did this guy do? I saw 8 separate videos in different locations in America when he was transporting people back. Transporting people back. You know, to their country. After y'all stood up that we vote for the Trump is going to make America good. Bitch, you ain't even from here. Shut the fuck up. The fuck? Do you even know what that means when they talk about make America great again? Let me just give it to you in layman's terms, okay? Bottom line, when black people had no fucking freedom at all, had no say-so in nothing, and there was just a lot less foreigners in the country. In a nutshell, that's what the fuck they're talking about. I guess you'd be happy for your kid to go to school, black water fountain, white water fountain. Let's bring that shit all back again. So where do fucking Latinos and where the Asians y'all fit? I guess y'all be somewhere drinking from a fucking river. Yeah. Y'all still don't get it. You know, I saw a video. Shit popped up in my feed. Paulie TV. You see, Paulie Malignaggi, whoever he was talking to, he never showed his face on the camera. But Paulie Malignaggi was, the guy gave him his phone and he was reading some information. See, let me show you how things work. See, I talked about the Big U situation. Told y'all, if y'all know who he is, go look him up. So Big U basically is supposed to be a leader of the Rolling 60s and all that, right? Well, now there's an article about Adrien Broner had some cheesy dice and he was beating NBA players out of their money. Got a lot of money from these motherfuckers gambling, see? That's how stupid you motherfuckers are. You make it out the hood or make it from wherever the fuck you from, and the first thing you want to do because you got money to waste, you just go throw it away. Stupid motherfuckers gambling money. So basically, he got pressed for this according to the article. So Paulie and them sitting there laughing. Oh my God, man, what's this guy always like he's broke, man? Now before the video closes, the video is like 3 minutes or something long. 3 minutes and some seconds, he goes, free Adrien Broner. like he's being an asshole. See, well, let me explain something to you. In this situation, it goes back to what I've been telling you coons forever. See, y'all get in front of this camera. It's like the most ignorant black people is giving a microphone or get in front of these cameras. Yo, shout out my niggas, now sign up here in BX, nigga. You know how we do, nigga, all day, stand up, nigga, we in the building. Hey, you know what I'm saying, nigga? Yeah, we we here making it happen, my nigga. Now, oh, yeah, nigga. That's who y'all put in front of this camera. And every fucking time y'all do this, maybe you can fucking slam dunk a ball. Maybe you're a good rapper or you got some hit songs or whatever the fuck it is you do that they know you for. And they clown your stupid asses. These same racist motherfuckers are always, it's always racist with you people. Right, exactly. It always is racist because of you motherfuckers. Exactly. You said it. You're talking about yourselves. And what ends up happening, see, they'll blast your music. I done seen it several times. White boys pull up, all off beat, listening to the fucking music and shit. Yeah, nigga, fuck that nigga, we pump cap, nigga, we did it. Right? And you know what they do? When you speak against racism, they bring up your lyrics. They bring up and show videos of how you act. Now, why you think Paulie and them is pulling up this information about Adrien Broner? What was the purpose of that segment? So it doesn't look like Paulie's pulling it up. Whoever his guest was pulled up and showed him. He didn't even know what was going on. That's what this was to look like. And then, two, he just wanted to make this out and kind of rub it into, like, yeah, Remember, they had their little back and forth back in the day and all. Adrien supposed that stole his side piece and all that goofy shit or whatever. But at the end of the day, see, here's my thing, man. You see, you ignorant black fools, people take your stupidity and use it against you. And I can tell you this, black people don't make me look bad. You know who make black people look bad? The individuals that do dumb shit. You make yourself look bad. Racist people try to put us in all one ball of wax, see? And I don't give a fuck where you from. White Americans don't like Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans don't like white Americans. Puerto Ricans don't like Dominicans. You understand? It goes on. It ain't just with us, see? But every time something goes down and we speak up, like I said, anybody can walk over here and wave their flag and do whatever, but you know what happens? They deport your fucking ass back to the country you fucking from as soon as something goes wrong. Yeah. And you know what you do then? Oh, America's racist. Oh, now it's racist. Because they deported your fucking ass back to your country. Now it's racist. It wasn't always racist. It's just now, huh? Yeah. So all the shit that they fucking talk, see? These little bitch-made motherfuckers, they pussy. They're not even, it's like it shows you. You know, the other fucking day, it's funny, man. I got on the scale. Motherfucker said, God damn, man, you're fucking huge, but you're ripped, man. You ran from all the way from here to there, and you did this and that. And I looked at him, and I'm like, yeah, nothing new. I've been doing this shit all my life. And he's like, yeah, I know. Like, I'm just saying, like, I don't know, guy. I'm like, yeah, anyway, man, enjoy the rest of your fucking day. Oh, sorry. No. This is how people pay attention to you. I'm not paying attention to your little frail, pale ass. The fuck you watching me for? Yeah. I come out, where I was at, and I go to my car. And I'm sitting there. I see him standing across the street. And I'm sitting there looking. And it was so funny to me because I'm like, you see, it was one of those thoughts, like, people who you not even paying attention to, even though I notice, I see what I'm not, you know what I'm saying? They're watching you. The fuck kind of man is sitting there watching another man's physique? What kind of shit is that? And I'm like, yeah. What is that leading to? When I went to the store, that same place, where he was at, like 2 days later, lady in there goes, oh, Jeffrey said this and this. Hey, he's crazy about you. Like, who the fuck is Jeffrey? Jeffrey, your friend? I'm like, miss, I don't know. No, I do know a couple of people named Jeff. Not out here where we are. She's describing him. I said, okay. The two Jeffs that I know are black. I don't know who you're talking about. And then she goes, you don't know him? There's a picture of him. I looked at him. I said, no, I don't know that motherfucker. Just like that. Oh, he talks like he knows you so well. You understand what I'm saying? How people blah, 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 blah about nothing. I don't know this dude. This is the same way people don't know you, will see you. There's a guy wearing all black. This and this and this. They do this shit on purpose. I have videos of that too. Would you like to see them? I got a bunch of them. And I collect all this shit because I want people to understand. I don't give a fuck personally. Like example, when I made the video, I'm talking about Devin Haney, and I say, what is this? What has he done to be so? I don't give a fuck how you feel about Devin Haney. It's just a question of, look at how fucked up the world is. It's always some idiot that's gonna step out and jump out the fucking window just to realize there's no pool of water. It's just concrete, and they go smashing right into it. They show you who and what the fuck they are. Yeah. You support what you stand for. So when you support racists, you are racist. You got racist motherfuckers trying to tell us Muhammad Ali was racist. You got young, dumb black motherfuckers with hear Muhammad Ali saying, don't call me Cassius Clay. My name is Muhammad Ali. I don't want your name. I'm not your people. I don't want your name no more. Oh, that's racist. Shut your stupid black ass up. You don't even understand what the fuck was going on and what's going on right now. That's why young, stupid black people say shit like, oh, that was a long time ago. Racism is over. Think so, dummy? I done been from the hood to the suburbs to the hood, back to the suburbs. You understand what I'm saying? I done seen all this shit already. I know what's going on, and I see where it's leading. You see the problem with most of us? We've been taught and programmed to not give a fuck about ourselves or each other. Religion, it divided us, it separated us. Politics divided us. Money, wealth, finances define who the fuck we are in the minds of most people. And we still don't get it. And this is, like I said, I would love to run into one of you motherfuckers in the street. What you say on my fucking comment section, that was you, right? And no more words after that. And I guarantee you will never fucking leave another comment again. Every fucking time I hear people talk shit and I see stupid comments and I see these bitch-made pussy-ass content creators who sit up here and entertain the whole, trying to play neutral. No, ain't no playing neutral. Let me tell you something right now. All you stupid niggas out there. If a race war broke out right now, racist people not going to look at Sean Porter, Andre Ward because he got a white mama or whatever. They're not going to look at Mike Tyson, me, or nobody else and say, oh, they're good people, man. They're no. And a whole lot of people look like us will be over there supporting the racist side. Believe it. You still don't get it. Y'all too dumb, too pussy, too soft to understand this shit. I wish any one of you motherfuckers would try me. I wish a nigga would try me. I guarantee you would see some shit that you never seen before. And that's why when you try to wake your people up, it'll be more of your people trying to fucking resist, and the racist people will use your stupid ass as an example. And that's what they was doing even with what you think Paulie was doing. That's my point. He was making an example and laughing at and rubbing it in the face of Adrien Broner, right? And I told you motherfuckers, y'all find the worst black people to try to support them and talk about what they was and what they could have been, what they should have been, what they would have been, all that bullshit. And I'm like, right, y'all still don't get it. They hate Clarissa Shields. If Clarissa Shields was white, if she was Latino or whatever the fuck, trust me, you couldn't tell nobody that she wasn't the fucking best. Simple. Clarissa Shields go up there and beat the fuck out of little ass Amanda Serrano. Oh, she was too small and she's old. She go beat the fuck out of little Katie Taylor. Oh, she was too small and she was old. If she go out there and beat the fuck out of little fucking Alicia Baumgart and she finally get the fucking courage to step up, she was too small. She go beat the fuck out of Michaela Mayer. Oh, she was overrated. Y'all still don't get it. If Floyd Mayweather was white or Latino, trust me, Asian, whatever the fuck, y'all still don't get it. They could be the same people, like the same mentality, just different skin color, guarantee you. And it'd be a whole different story. Y'all don't see what's going on? Of course you do. You're too stupid because you're still slaves. This is why people use Showbiz the adult as an example. Yeah, they'll use him as an example. Oh, even Showbiz said that Canelo would beat this guy. Even Showbiz said that the white guy's better than the black guy. They always do that with him. People hate Dante's Boxing Nation because Dante's Boxing Nation, he talks about race all the time. Like I said, my introduction to them was him, 7-8 Sports, for 9. It was like they were one group. They were all dropping videos the same day. And the videos would come out, they be talking about the same things, and they was always shouting at each other type of thing. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Man, I understand what's happening. I'm not short-sighted on anything in terms of what their motives were. I look down the line, like I said, see, I don't like when it's not the fact that you call out black people. You supposed to call motherfuckers out for their bullshit if you because it's more than that. Because a call out don't mean I hate you or dislike you. A call out could be a wake-up call. It's all how you take it. Now, I say what I mean and I mean what I say. Okay, I'll say the same shit to anybody's face. I'm not no tough guy on no camera, nigga. I can go for real. Y'all, I'm not worried about nobody. At the end of the fucking day, okay, at the end of the day, I listen to Dante and I listen. I understand where he's coming from. And I'm like, I'm not going to let the things he said that I didn't like completely deter me away from him. But I understood the favoritism he was showing and why. Because everybody else do it for their countrymen. So when I looked at him, I'm like, nah, I'm not going to look at him like he shouldn't do it because you got to be the better, bigger man. I said, because that's his choice to do what he's doing, and I get what he's doing. And then when I listen to 7-8, when I listen to Fanon and all them, Dante stands out in a different way from them. And I understood his movement. Now, I tried to keep my shit strictly boxing. But it's like at some point, nah, I don't need to create another channel to talk about what I'm talking about right now. I could do that shit right here. And the real soldiers gonna rock with me. The fake bitches ain't. Don't make me no never mind. What's real is real. And when I get love from them, it's because I'm giving it right back to them. But at the same time, I understood where he was coming from. Now, when I listen to Fanon, I'm like, Fanon, he's just making up a lot of shit. 7-8 be like, I don't know, he just be all over the place with his shit sometimes as well, especially when it come to Wilder. So one thing I never did and will never do is try to I will never try to fit in with what somebody else is doing and make excuses. That's something I don't do. When this channel first started, I came across a channel called Counterpunch Boxing. And I'm listening to dude talk. I'm watching his videos. And I was getting into his shit. And there's nobody, Lady Chan, a couple of people, there's several people that boxing icons. And then I watched all these different channels they were under scrutiny for different things. But I'm going to tell you exactly, Bruce Wayne. But I'm going to tell you exactly what I saw. Sporting icons. People said, you just biased towards British fighters. Fuck you. All you do is salute British fighters and act like British fighters can do no wrong. You're biased. And a lot of people were saying this shit. Like in his comment sections. And you know, I don't watch anybody faithfully. But there's channels I like that I'm watching shit and I'm okay. And I'm like, all right, cool. Whatever. I hear things. Then sometimes you just don't see people videos no more. So you don't even know they're still making videos. And I watched him get his criticism. Okay. Now, he admitted being biased towards certain fighters, but people was, getting at him because he was sticking up for the British people. Okay. Kurt DeVille from Counterpunch Boxing. I remember the night he interviewed somebody from Wilder's camp. You guys remember, I'm like, check it out, because I'm going to watch it when he go live and see what's going on. And that guy sat there on Kurt's channel and he lied his ass off. That guy was lying his ass off. A lot of people was upset with Kurt. They wanted Kurt to blast him. They wanted him to roast him. Ask him the tough questions, and like really get at him. That's what they wanted out of Kurt. Kurt didn't do that. Kurt just asked him the question, let him answer it, and moved on to the next one. He didn't grill him. That's what they wanted. But a lot of people, I'm giving you the facts of what I read and what I saw. A lot of people started saying shit like, yo, Kurt falling off, man. Kurt becoming a yes man. Kurt starting to do what everybody else is doing. Kurt ain't real no more, right? Then people was like, yo, Bruce Wayne is the truth. Yo, Aries, check out Bruce Wayne. I had people come in my comment section like, yo, check out Counterpunch. Check out Counterpunch, right? I'm already checking out Counterpunch. You understand what I'm saying? I'm already checking out Bruce Wayne at the time. Then all of a sudden, I started watching Bruce Wayne. I started watching people, listening. Oh man, Bruce Wayne falling off. Bruce Wayne this, Bruce Wayne that. One by one, I'm watching everybody get their criticism and people talking shit. Then they had this guy, IBFP, or whatever he called his fucking self. This dude was the biggest Canelo Alvarez nut hugger I ever seen in my life. Or I've heard, never seen his fucking face, don't care to see his fucking face, but every fucking fighter he compared him to is garbage truck juice. Canelo Alvarez dares to be great. Canelo. I'm like, goddamn, why don't you just make this a Canelo Alvarez channel, man? Goddamn, do you ever not talk about Canelo, right? It's his channel to talk about whatever he wants. But I listen to this dude, and it's the same thing. Showbiz, people find him humorous. I don't. But they find him humorous. They watch him. One thing, and I'm gonna say this because I gotta make my point clear with everything. We're all different people, different personalities, right? People feel like Kurt DeVille in Counterpunch Boxing plays neutral too much. That's his biggest criticism that I see. People feel like showbiz is just a full-blown sellout. Simple. People said Bruce Wayne is starting to lose his edge because, he's starting to try to play neutral too. And that he getting his feelings too much about things, and he's starting to just make up shit and say things, but it don't really make any sense and add up. And he's always trying to be right about something, and to the point to where he's always, I told y'all, and I said, not this and that. And it was just like Bruce Wayne, he just starting to say a bunch of bullshit now, man. Like, it's like he and his feelings about shit, and it's hard to watch him now. Boxing ego. They're like, all this fucking guy do is ride fucking for whoever he like as a fighter, that he ride they nuts to the point where this dude be arguing with people, then he'll block you just for saying, I think this guy will beat this guy, whatever the fuck. And I had somebody come in my comment section tell me about boxing ego blocking them. I said, well, stop going on this channel. Like, what compels you? You see a topic and decide, I just have to watch and I just have to comment. That's your fault. Can't blame him for that, right? But all of them, Lady Chan, I was supporting her channel. She was sending links for me to go live with them. And, I'm not really into this group shit because I'm not trying to be a part of nobody's little bullshit. And I watched a couple of her lives. I'm like, that shit ain't for me because I'm a grown ass man. I'm a 255-pound fucking man. I am not sitting up here arguing over no fucking men. I am not sitting up here arguing over these women. I don't care. We either have a grown-up discussion about something or I'm out. You do what y'all do. I don't need that shit. And then as far as Lady Chan goes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never had no issue until she said I was making excuses for Errol Spence. And I'm like, the fuck you mean I'm making excuses? I don't make excuses for nobody. I ain't get my ass whooped. He got his ass whooped. What the fuck do I care for? Given the boxing news, I'm just repeating what he said. Going into my next topic, what the fuck do you mean I'm making excuses for this dude? And she might have been just joking, but that shit hit me the wrong way because I had a bunch of other motherfuckers saying the same shit to the point where I'm like, example, when Errol Spence was saying, hey, he want the rematch with Crawford, but at 154. And I'm saying, so it's obviously he's saying he didn't feel as strong, or he feel like he'll be stronger or better suited at 154. This is what he's saying. So what the fuck you mean I'm making excuses? I'm repeating what he said as I'm giving the news. And I'm making excuses for him because I'm repeating what the fuck he's saying. I'm not telling you, at 154 he'll do better. Even at 154, the way he fought and the type of his strategy, if they fought at 154 and he fought that way, he get his ass beat again. How am I making excuses? And this is when I'm like, see, I don't have the temperament for this kind of shit because I'm not like everybody else. And you motherfuckers like to say little slick shit to each other and be talking goofy shit just for ratings and for subscribers and viewers. And see, I'm not with all that bullshit. Never had an issue, but I'm pretty sure my response to her, she realized like, oh shit, he didn't take this the way I thought he was. She's like, nah, don't play them fucking games with me, man. I'm not no bitch. And I feel like only a bitch does that. So when you dudes be acting like bitches, yeah, that's what the fuck you are. Ain't no man gonna be getting his feelings because of what the fuck happened or what's said about another person. Now, we talking about racism and we talking about shit that affects us as a society. We talking about something different now. Talking about something different now. I done been on the front line for a whole lot of shit. And I ain't got no problem doing it again. So anyway, like I said, then all of a sudden I noticed she started getting scrutiny. They're like, yo, you don't know shit about boxing. You just be saying shit, yo. And the only reason your channel even making it because you be having all these lives with different motherfuckers, but you don't know they... See, I'm listening to all this shit. I'm reading all this shit. And I'm just like, wow. Now, I look at 7-8 Sports. 7-8 will say something to speak on behalf of black people, but the black people he don't like, he'll tear them down. Which I've heard Dante do that as well at a point. And this is where I feel like, man, some hypocritical shit. And I kind of stayed away from all that shit. I just, and then because of the YouTube algorithm, their videos would pop up in my shit anyway. So what ends up happening was I'm listening to 7-8, and it's like, yo, he's just biased and he's one-sided. Right? Now I'm hearing all this shit. Okay. I'm listening to Dante's Boxing Nation, but I'm like, he still stands out differently from the rest of them. Because, let's just be real. I don't give a fuck how much you don't like it. Now, his opinions and bias towards Wilder and all that shit he was doing at one point, what I'm saying, I wasn't feeling that shit. But when this dude be talking this shit about this racist shit going on, and he be saying, you gotta remember something, and this is, he be talking facts. He's talking facts. But my point overall, to him, 7-8, anybody else, don't sit up here and talk all this black, yeah, and then turn around and say some shit like, if you support Adrien Broner, you're a fucking loser in life. I never said no shit like that about Adrien Broner. But I also said Adrien Broner do dumb shit. He himself bring it to the camera. Not leaked footage, but shit he does. So how the fuck are you gonna, you understand what I'm saying? He's doing buffoon type shit. Nah. Alright, we're gonna rock with the one light. But anyway, this is what I'm talking about. All of those things that I'm listening to, Dante was the most consistent about his shit with the racist shit and standing and speaking against it. Now, does that mean I agree with everything he said about fighters in general, just like who he like and don't like and all shit that he was, especially when it came to with this Wilder shit? Because I'm like, nah, y'all tripping. Why? Because they wasn't being honest when it came to that shit. Because I'm sitting there watching videos. I'm hearing Wilder say something completely fucking different from what they were saying. I'm listening to Eddie Hearn. I'm listening to AJ. I'm listening to all this shit go down. And they were trying to take it and make it to what they wanted it to be when it came to Wilder. And I'm also like, yo, first off, AJ is black too. Why the fuck y'all talking like he's not? Yeah, I know you got a lot of West Indians and people who think they're different type of black than black Americans. I get that shit. And for the most part, when you live in America and you got people that's here but they're not from here, and they be talking like, yo, back home, I got that big ass, you know. Come here, man, send money back, me walking team, and go back when me retire and all that. Me live like a king and all that shit. All right, right. But you couldn't do that shit back home. You had to come here to fucking do it, right? And then you talking shit about who? Not white Americans or the black Americans. You understand? And I'm like, no, we all the same. Y'all need to cut this bullshit. Y'all need to cut this shit. It's like if a white guy get pulled over by a white cop and a black cop get pulled over by a white cop. If that white cop is racist, did they pull you over being white for the same reason they pulled that black person over? Could you say they pulled you over because they was racist? Yeah. Sounds stupid, wouldn't it? But if they pull the black motherfucker over and they ain't got nothing on them, and they try to provoke him, try to make him do something so they can shoot him and do it, all these things that y'all don't give a fuck about. That's why we don't give a fuck about you racist motherfuckers. We don't care nothing about no racist motherfucker. But this is my point. When you see all of that shit and you play dumb and people scared to speak about it, y'all weak. It's the only people that get offended and defend racism is racist. And I love pissing you bitch-made motherfuckers off because you don't do shit to me. All you do is run your mouth. But y'all pussy. All of y'all pussy. Now, I'm saying all that to say this shit. People saying shit to me like, yo, your channel should have way more subscribers. And I'm like, yeah, it is what it is, whatever. I'm like, but you see, the problem is this. When you stand for something and what you saying is real and you don't flip-flop, it's not going to happen the same way. So my point, everybody I named, with probably the exception of like Lady Chan, all these other people got way more subscribers than me. And all y'all do is insult them and put them down. But then I'm listening to like Rami's Corner and all these other white channels. You know, channels that's what, wow, y'all ain't got nothing to say about them. Y'all listen to them and then come back and try to talk like y'all just dropping some knowledge because it came from somebody that don't have black skin like you. Yeah. A whole lot of different fucking channels. Anybody that's non-black, what are they talking about? All Latino channels are defending their favorite, their countrymen channels. Anybody that's Philip, anything, everything. Whatever fighters are the same ethnicity, same nationality, that's who the fuck they are fucking, speaking so highly of. But when it comes to us, it's always the divide and conquer shit. I don't hate nobody because they white or they Puerto Rican or Mexican or whatever. I got friends and family from all over the motherfucker. But I know who I am. I know what I am and what I stand for. And I don't take nobody's shit. It's as simple as that. But yeah, you see all these white people saying the same shit Aries is saying. Now call them racist too for telling the truth, you bitch ass bigoted motherfuckers. Enough fucking talk. Catch y'all on the next motherfucking video.